Come on. I guess I'm just a misfit, huh? Yeah. Should I come in right now? No? Should I come in right now?
Everyone, how are y'all doing? My name's Deborah, and I'm here to give you the episode 5, my episode 5 review of You Who Came from the Stars, or My Love from Another Star, whatever you know it as. And today's review is gonna be slightly different, actually, a whole lot of different, kind of, from all my reviews, because I normally give recaps, but this time there isn't going to be recaps. I'm just going to give you my point of view of this episode and then the next episode, so you can imagine it's going to be actually short, but yeah, I wanted to try something different this week just because it's been many days since the episode aired, so it's gonna be weird if I'm giving a recap. So yeah, I want to try it this way for days that I am late on my reviews. Okay, so let's do this. Alright, so basically this week in episode 5 was really interesting. The ending was super intense. Let's start from the ending. I know I should start from the beginning, but I'm starting from the ending. I'm different, okay? So the ending was really interesting in that I was expecting Min-jun to use his powers to stop time before he gets out of the car and runs to save not Sami, Sung-gi, but he didn't do that. Instead, he jumped out of the car, which made him an obvious huge suspect. That was a totally wrong move. But yeah, I get that he was going to save Sung-gi because he thought something was going to happen to her and he just had to leave. I totally get that. But what I did not get is how after he had finished jumping from the car and like passing the truck, he then disappeared using his powers. And I'm like, seriously, dude, you could have just stopped time when you were in the car before jumping out of the car and then going to save Sung-gi. But I don't know why he did that. He wasn't sick, so we can't say he was weak. So I don't know. I want the writers to explain that to me if they can, or someone who understands why he didn't use his powers. All right. Moving from there, I also love how him and Sung-gi are gradually getting close, and he's gradually beginning to understand that he feels something for her. Pity, love, whatever it is, and it's just interesting to see how that all goes by. I loved how in the beginning it started. Yes, I am back to the beginning. It started with him giving Sung-gi the kiss, and Sung-gi was just rambling stuff about it's time she gets married. Now she's even dreaming about him in her dream, etc, and hormones are honest. And I'm like, oh my goodness, is anything gonna happen to him like I said last week, because he doesn't mix saliva? But nothing happened to him, so yeah, that's good. But I guess they didn't do like a French kiss, was just a peck, so maybe that's why. Maybe if we get to see a French kiss, then something might happen to him. But I also like that he had Ji-hyun having the conversation about killing Yura, so that makes him get on edge, and he knows Ji-hyun by face, so he knows that whenever Ji-hyun is around, things are not gonna be safe. And he's noticed some things like how Ji-hyun like moves his ring, etc. So I found that pretty interesting. I'm happy that he got to see Ji-hyun for real. And also, I felt so bad for Sung-gi when she was talking about how there's this picture in the like near her house that she always goes to see. It gives her courage, etc. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I just have this feeling they're gonna remove this picture. They're gonna like take it off, and I felt so bad for her. But I liked that when they were in the balcony, she was letting out her feelings to him, and she kind of let him realize that there's no joy in being alone, because Min-jun is always alone. He likes being alone. He doesn't like being associated with people. But she kind of gave some good points on why he shouldn't be alone. And at the end of the day, he was like, dude, you're still alone right now. And she's like, no, you're next to me. So that was a good comeback, and I like that. But something that makes me really nervous is the book he was reading, whereby it said the rabbits like something about the rabbit dying, or the girl the rabbit loved dying. And I'm like, oh my goodness, is one of them actually gonna die? That kind of got me scared. And it said something about the rabbit saying that it will never like make the mistake of loving again, and that just reminded me of Min-jun, because it is so obvious that Min-jun is in love with Sung-gi from the past, and that's Ji-hwa, I believe. And so it's just pretty interesting to see it's just pretty interesting to see how that is gonna work out, how he's gonna finally fully decide, oh my goodness, I am in love with this girl. There's nothing I can do with myself again except she's around. Next, I loved when the dad came, the fake dad, Minjun's best friend, came by and he was pretending to be the dad and they were having dinner. And that was kind of weird because I thought he couldn't eat with people, but I guess I may have gotten the whole thing wrong. But he was eating with them and it was just the most hilarious dinner ever. I wished I was there just to be sitting down and like watching the whole thing going on and just laugh my hat out. But hey, I was kind of watching them. I was kind of there, just not live, okay? But yeah, I really loved that scene. That scene was super good. And I loved when they were at the supermarket shopping and Minjun realized that he was acting like husband, like every other husband that was there shopping for his wife. So that was pretty cool. Next, I love how when he found out on his way home that Seunggi's advertisement had been removed, he got home and he tried every means possible to stop her from noticing that the advertisement was missing, her face wasn't there, and he broke the glass, etc, which at the end of the day wasn't a good move because Seunggi forgot that there was a glass there and she stepped on it and she injured herself, but which was really cool too because it made him lift her up Kdrama style. Yup. Cute, sweet. And he raised her up and he like dropped her on the chair. But him dropping her on the chair was pretty hilarious because you'd expect him to drop her calmly. But he didn't drop her calmly because he was kind of annoyed at her for like how she was stating and questioning herself if she was the reason for Yura's death. And he's like, dude, I did not kill Yura. Yura killed herself, okay? Or someone else killed Yura. He didn't say Yura killed herself, but yeah, I'll feel me. So I really like that. Next, I loved the scene with the brother and what's his name? The guy that wants to marry her, because the brother was kind of fighting for his sister because a group of kids were saying bad things about his sister, and then that's Yoon Jae is her brother, and then Hui Kyung came in and Hui Kyung saved him, and that was just so cool. And I love how Hui Kyung took control of the situation. And if you haven't fallen in love with Hui Kyung, that was the moment where I fell in love with him, like for real though. I'm like, oh my goodness, why do they have to make you so nice? Now I can't hate you. You're the second lead. We always can decide among second leads, so it was just crazy though. But yeah, I liked that scene. Next scene that I loved particularly was when Seunggi found out that she wasn't gonna be able to shoot, and she was just canceling on everybody and making it seem like she was the one canceling on them and not them canceling on her. So that was pretty interesting. This week was pretty interesting. I loved how we still saw how obviously Yoon Jae, her brother, loves her and he doesn't want his sister to be hurt and he wants to make sure that she's okay, and how Yoon Jae is always kind of there for her, and how Minjun is beginning to open up slightly for her. So that was pretty interesting to see. This week was pretty interesting. I loved this week. I loved episode 5 and I loved episode 6, even though I felt sorry for her for all that she was going through. Okay, so what did you think about episode 5 this week? Tell me what you thought in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. From me to you all, peace.
Come on, I guess I'm just a misfit, huh? Yeah. Not coming right now.